The effects on the farmlands, the forests and the olive groves has been absolutely devastating, not only here in Sicily, but in many other regions of Italy. Tens of thousands of hectares have been destroyed, and the territory has been reduced to ash, as you can see behind me, and trees to skeletons. The winds have eased up, but the temperatures remain extremely high, and authorities have warned that the temperatures could rise further this week, reaching peaks of 45 degrees, and strong winds are also expected to pick up from Africa. These are both favorable conditions for fast-spreading fires that could erupt this week. Now, the warnings that have been issued by the authorities have been to be extremely careful and to report any outbreak of a new fire so that interventions can be fast.
To fight against those wildfires in Russia's Yakutia, the authorities have started to use the military equipment as well as aviation. The goal of the emergency services at the moment is to secure the crops as well as not to let the fire get closer to the residential areas, to the houses of people in villages, towns and cities in the region. But the problem is obviously the soil of this region. It is swampland, which makes it particularly hard for the emergency vehicles to move. In one of the interviews, the governor of the region has said that there has not been sufficient funding to fight those wildfires, but he was expecting more to come from the federal budget. So the economic damage of those wildfires is yet to be estimated, but the forest, which is now under fire, has ecological value for the region, for the country overall. And the smoke from those fires has covered the neighboring regions, halting the work of the airports and putting the lives of the people in danger because of severe air pollution.
It was a delayed monsoon initially that started off, but the ferocity that the monsoon has arrived in India has been rather astounding given the displacement and the deaths we've seen. A couple of weeks ago, it was the state of Maharashtra, which had reported over 100 deaths and thousands being displaced in flooding. Now it's northern Indian states of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh that are reporting high displacement of people due to flooding, and the monsoon fury is literally spreading havoc throughout India, though efforts are on, especially at a central level, given the deployment of extra personnel from the Army and National Disaster Relief Force to help search and rescue operations to ensure that the affected are given places to stay and temporary accommodations are provided, and they're ensuring that even COVID protocols are followed, because even as this flooding is creating that kind of impact across India, COVID is also a serious threat. So countering that while balancing that out is a big challenge that the security and the disaster relief forces are undertaking. Hopefully the monsoon fury will abate in this coming week itself, and we could see a normalization of the situation.
More than 440,000 people have been affected, and the economic damage has been estimated at around $40 million after heavy rains lashed Sichuan province over the weekend. Major rivers were above warning levels, and once again we saw some of the same sorts of scenes that we saw in Henan province just a month ago, with cars submerged, with water at waist-high level on many roads. And people are asking the question, are cities in China resilient enough to withstand some of the extreme weather conditions that we're seeing? Notably, 80,000 people had to be evacuated from 6 cities across Sichuan province. Now, Chinese weather experts have pinned the blame on rising temperatures, and that's causing more rainfall, not just in China, but in other parts of the world. But the impacts are certainly being felt more strongly here in China, and it is expected to get worse.